Welcome back to episode 3, everybody. As you can see, we now have a nice clear area for what's going to become our storage room. I'm thinking I'm going to vault the ceiling, so expect that to get a little bit higher. I'm thinking some pillars along the outer edge with like a nice arched ceiling, so more of that to come when we've got access to that kind of material. I've put in a little bit of an infinite water source here, one water block on that side, one water block on that side, and then a sign to stop it from flowing out. Lets us just collect the water. Using Pam's Harvestcraft, we can then make fresh water just out of the bucket, which is a stackable resource. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to need some bread. So using, in fact, we're going to need some more water here, because we're going to need to boil it down for some salt. So I don't know how you get salt from fresh water, but hey, question not these things. Minecraft logic is forever. So we want to boil that water off to get the salt in a pot. No heat required, obviously. Again, Minecraft logic, best not to question. And we grind up our wheat into flour with mortar and pestle, and then combine the flour, water and salt in a mixing bowl to get dough, and then using the bakeware we can make ourselves bread, which is absolutely necessary right now. There we go. So now that you can see why we needed the wheat farm. Very important to be getting as much wheat as we can. And while it's a bit more resource intensive, or well, not resource intensive, but crafting intensive, one wheat becoming one bread rather than 3 becoming 1 is very much a welcome thing. Let's just harvest all of this up, plant all this, and you can see that I've got a bunch of cobble in my inventory, which is because our chest that stored it is now completely full. So we need to get into our next set of storage types. And that's going to be storage drawers. I can feel like I can vein miner this without having to worry too much about my hunger gauge now. Boom. Ooh, apples as well. Plenty of saplings. Nice large tree here. Deal with making this look nice and flat and even at some point fairly soon. Probably the next step, if I'm honest, will be flattening out this area of terrain for the trees. But again, do that off camera, because watching someone just dig and dig and dig is tedious beyond belief. Yeah, so that's that. We'll leave that in there for the moment. So, first thing we want to do is make ourselves a chest. Nice and simple. Basic chest. Then combine the chest with some more oak wood and we get our basic drawer. Now, the basic drawer holds 32 stacks of a single item, so it's much more efficient. And this can also be upgraded. So if I shift click, you can see it's got various upgrade slots. So I can put a whole different, that's going to have so many different things. No, drawers. A whole different kinds of upgrades, and these don't have to be done in order, so we can skip straight to the emerald upgrades to have 32 times that level. You can also have all manner of other things to it. So the creative one's obviously not working in a basic game like this, but redstone upgrade, so it emits void, so anything that goes into it beyond the maximum amount it can store just gets destroyed, so it doesn't clog up piping and the like. Conversion upgrades, so if you've got several different ores of a similar type but from different mods, for example, it'll auto convert the things together. Signal outputs, and status upgrades, a few different ways of doing things, but in any event, all you do to put things in is right click, and then if you double right click, it will put everything from your inventory in it. Single click will take one item out, shift and click will take a stack, so that's very helpful. And these drawers come in a few different ways. So you've got the big full drawers, which are the 32 stacks. You can then get twin drawers, and then you can get four drawers. So what we're going to be doing is having basic drawers for the materials. In fact, I'm not even sure I want it in there. I think I want it one over for the art because of the arches. So let's just move this before we get too far into things. Now, breaking it, you can see, kept the contents. Didn't always used to be the case. Sometimes they used to explode in a shower of items, which was always really bad, unless you put packing tape on it, which lets you seal them up and move them. So I'm really glad they seem to have made that change. So yeah, let's have another one for dirt. We can take all this cobble as well. Just a bit more oak planks. It's going to go in here and store all of the dirt. Right. Now, what we want is something for all of this other type of stone we've got going on. And personally, I like to differentiate my... Let's go put any more. I like to differentiate the wood types. These would be done in columns, so I'm not going to have too much weirdness to them. So these will go up here. Hold on to that for a moment. And then in this we can put all of our andesite in there, all of our diorite in there, and then there's granite as well, so we want to leave space for that. We've got limestone. Apparently one piece of limestone, or did I just not pick it out of the chest? Sure. Yeah, there we go. Not much, but a bit. There we go. Yeah, so that's going to be the next set of things, storing all of the different materials in here, of which I'm going to want one for our oak, and then I tend to put slabs in the other slot. Birch can go in here. Don't think I've got a birch tree sapling, which could be an issue. We're going to need to go and sort some of that out. Let's just stop that in there for now. Right, so that's tidying things up, and I'll be adding more of these for the most part. I don't tend to use very many of the basic drawers, simply because what's the point, they're not base drawers, the single item storage one, because there's not very many things you need 32 stacks of, or will end up getting 32 stacks of. So the smaller amount that you get in the 4x4 holding 8 stacks is normally enough. You can also do it with slabs to get half-sized ones, so when you want that extra bit of space, so it would only occupy half of this block vertically, which is quite nice in some instances. That also holds a smaller amount down to 4 stacks in the 8 stacks. And what is it for the? Can you even do it with the big one? Don't think you can. Yeah, so that holds a smaller amount. You can also put a downgrade in it, so it just holds a single stack of the different items, which can be quite useful for certain builds where you're using redstone and comparators and the like, so that you can turn machines on to only store a certain amount. But right, that's that sorted out. I'm going to go and work out exactly how I can fit the smeltery in the way that I want it to, because I don't want it indoors ideally, but at the same time I don't want to be messing around at night outside. So I will go and lay it out, and we'll come back when we're ready to start building. And welcome back. Okay, I've dug out our room that's going to start with our industry. Thankfully beneath the tree at the moment, so there's no risk of anything falling on us, and this room's probably going to get extended out in that direction for all the different machines, and we'll have some of it open to the sky with fences or walls around the top to stop things from falling in. So for now we want to start our seared bricks being turned into a smeltery, which is the first ore doubling mechanism we have access to, though it does require lava, which is going to be a bit of an issue. So first thing you need is a smeltery controller. There's a few blocks that we're going to need to get going. A seared tank, which is going to be where we're going to be putting the lava for the various things. A seared drain to get material out. We're going to start with a casting basin and a faucet. How many blocks do we need? I think we can get away without using the table to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the base. 1, 2, 3. Have I got enough? I don't think I've got enough yet. Might need to make some more. Right. So while I've dug out an area for a 3x3, we're going to start with just 2x2. The reason for that is it can make its own blocks using stone rather than the materials we had to gather, because gravel is not the most common thing around here, unfortunately. We are just a teensy bit short, but that's not a problem. So we need one more thing, so 4 more parts of grout. So let's just make 8 pieces of grout. Don't know why it did that. Must not have gone back in properly. Let's just smelt that up. Then we're going to need to go exploring for lava, which is probably going to be... In fact, did I just see some on the minimap? No, it's a mushroom. I do have a desert up there. That's more likely. So I think what I will do is explore some off camera, see about finding some lava, picking that up, see about getting some other bits and pieces while I'm out, and then we will come back with that, and I will show you how you can turn a small amount of a small smeltery into a larger one simply by having this. I mean, I could make this just a 1x1, but that would take forever to do anything with, so we'll stick with what we've got for now. I will be back in a second. So I've just got over to the desert as part of the first exploration area. I just wanted to highlight something real awesome. We have ourselves what we are going to need from Astral Sorcery to get into it when we get access to some ender pearls. At least I hope. There we go. Which is one of these floating crystals. It's always worth digging in to these things. So let's just plant a torch, and we're going to just, well, it's close to the base. There's no reason not to mark it, just in case I get myself lost while looking for it again. Marble and the material is going to be really useful, rather than having to find deposits of it. Just taking it from temples as they stand will be great. Anyway, back to my lava hunt. I will see you again shortly. Quite ridiculously, another 2 of these temples right next to each other, so we are going to be not short of resources here. At least I hope it's another one of the temples. There we go. Let's see what's behind door number 2. Gold, some more constellation papers. I'll go through what the constellation papers are for a little bit later. We're not particularly close to being able to do anything with that yet, but getting them now is certainly useful. And you may be wondering why I'm using a torch rather than my spade, but you can just about see on the edge of it my spade is horribly broken. As I found some gravel and was using that. An ender pearl, excellent. Right, so we're going to be able to get into this sooner rather than later. That's real good news. It's getting dark. I've still not found any lava. Oh, there's some to the south. Right, I'm going to see if I can make a run for that before too many mobs start spawning, and then I will make my way home. Ooh, there's a few mobs around. Right, going to be careful here. So let's put the buckets on the quick bar so we can... Yee! That was close. Always be mindful of your surroundings. Sprinting and knocking back. Oh yeah, thermal foundations, I think. This is going to be a problem. Right, I think I'm going to go and see about making my way into one of those temples and holding out for the night. In here. Right. So I'm just going to wait the night out because there's too many mobs and I've got no armor and no good sword right now. So I will be back shortly. Actually, while we're here, before we simply pass the night, we can create one of the items from this temple, and we're going to make ourselves the astral crafting station. Why is that not working? That should be everything we need in the right places for luminous crafting bench. Are you complaining at the type of marble? It's astral marble. Floating crystals should be sufficient. Don't know why that didn't work. That's kind of annoying. I'll have to look into that and troubleshoot that, but we'll come back to that later. Gonna carry on waiting for the night to pass, and we'll go and get our lava. Right, welcome back. We now apparently have daytime, so let's see how many of the mobs are still around. There's a creeper there. Make a break, make a break, make a break, make a break. Oh, a witch. Make a break. The skeletons will disappear very quickly, so let's just use this longsword to its best advantage. This ability here is why I like the longsword. Just the quick jumps. Right, 2 buckets of lava, and let's make our way back home as quickly as we can. We will kill the spider though, because string. And I think we might. I'm very tempted to just take some sandstone back as well, because I quite like the smooth sandstone, and using chisel can make for a nice appearance. So we're just going to vein mine of this, get as much of that as we can. That's 44. Let's just break into here. Sometimes with vein miner it can create all kinds of weirdness where blocks are destroyed and moved too quickly. Ooh, village. Hello, let's go and investigate that. Move that into the inventory. Yeah, I haven't been able to work out why the astral sorcery table wouldn't let us make one of them. Might have to go looking for the mountain shrine, a much larger place. Maybe just need to uncover that one, but you don't normally need to do so with those crystals. So, bit of an oddness, but I'll look into it and have an experiment probably between sessions. Really dark. Is it potentially raining still out here? So waystones are really nice. When we can craft these, we can use these to teleport between the different areas. I do love the names that you get for them, and crops as well. Might steal some crops, but for now, not too bothered by that. I'm potentially bothered by what's in here. I can hear zombies. Okay. Ha! Get yourself trapped, you I hate little zombies so much. There we go. Right. Just gonna block that up for a second while we investigate here. Some more gold, some food, some armor, some more bread. Excellent. Let's stick the armor on. Eat. Recover those hearts. Ah, there's a zombie infestation here, isn't there? Alright. Let's just get ourselves. Out. Nope. Sorry, sir. There we go. Dead zombie. Okay, right. Anything useful? No. 20 coal. It's not horrific. Might think about doing that. Cows. That's going to be good. We're going to need milk sooner rather than later. We are quite a distance away though. Right, I'm going to make my way back to base and start organising all of this, and I will catch up with you there. Okay, made it back. Picked up one other thing while we're out, this mystical white flower from Britannia. Going to be very useful. It's the necessary start for it. So while I was out there. Right, so the constellations can all be stored within the astral tome. And we can start playing around with these later. At the moment we don't know much about them. Going to need a telescope to find that out. And that's quite a ways off, so that's unfortunately just going to have to wait. It's especially if we can't make the crafting thing like we need to. Let's stick our metals away that we found from there. And for now, the marble. I'm half tempted to go back with just the basic marble and see if that works. See if it's just a glitch where it's not noting the proper marble, but I'm not sure. Let's just stick all of those in there for now. Flint, sandstone. Yeah, let's just put that away for the moment. Right. What we are going to want is cobble, quite a bit of it. So the smeltery uses lava in this tank here to smelt items down, hence the name smeltery, into a liquid form, and then you use casting basins and casting tables with molds and templates to create various items. To start with, we're going to want to try and make this a bit bigger, and grout is one way of doing it, but the other way is to smelt cobble down. Game just stuttered there, I thought it would just crash, that would have been bad. Smelt cobble down into seared brick form and then put it into the casting basin. So between episodes I'm going to be smelting a bunch of this down and then filling up this area. I want this to be 3 by 3 at the base and then up to the probably the 4 height. I think having it at least level with the top of there is going to be the aim. Might have to go and get some more lava. 2 buckets might not be enough, so I might run back and forth while I'm doing that. And I'll also start thinking about trying the other astral sorcery thing. So you can see we've got 1 block's worth. So each one of the cobblestone just becomes 1 brick, which translates 4 bricks into 1 block. And then we can pour it out from here into this, wait for it to solidify, and we now have our seared stone. And there's a few different variants of this. So the plain one I'm not so much a fan of. I much prefer the seared bricks. And we could put a table with a mould in it, but we can't craft the moulds yet because we don't have any aluminium, so that would be the next step in doing all of that. So I think we're going to need to get some more lava, go mining, get some ores. I'm not going to show mining on camera because it is just basically tedious, digging down and going in straight lines until we find ores. If I find something interesting in a cave, I might record it, but otherwise not so much. So this episode's been a little bit on the longer side, but hopefully it's been fun and informative, and I will see you next time where we have hopefully all the resources we need for a much bigger smeltery.